Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the John R. Wooden Gymnasium, Martinsville Artesian Volleyball, WRAP 15 Sports, and the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Final regular season match of the year for Martinsville. They're 17-9. They are battling the Terre Haute South Braves, who come in 20-8 on the campaign. Let's go to PA announcer Jim Thomas for the starting lineups.
Recognizing the seniors for the Lady Artesians, number 5, Anna Foley. Number 12, Katie Tomlinson. Number 7, Katie Hung. And number 11, Emily Jones. Here's the starting lineup for your Lady Artesians. Number 6, Katie Tomlinson. Number 8, Casey Dorset. Number 9, Grace Reynolds. Number 11, Mackenzie Martin. Number 12, Emily Carter. Number 17, Ella Whitman. Number 12 is number 1, Holly Burton. Head coach for Artesians, Kayla Beck. Will you please stand and face the center court for the playing of our national anthem.
Starting lineups introduced. National anthem has been played. The seniors also honored once again verbally prior to this contest. The final regular season match of the year for the Lady Artesians, the volleyball squad, the seniors down there, the 4 of them, Katie Tomlinson, Katie Wong, Emily Jones, and Anna Foley, all honored prior to the match here this evening. Of course, senior night was done earlier in the season during senior week, the last week of August, to make sure they got everything in. Should the coronavirus force the cancellation, so far all athletic teams have been pretty fortunate and have done a fantastic job to make sure their seasons would be able to be played. So we will get set to go here. And we'll get ready to go here once they get the rotations here. The liberos will check in. Martinsville's starting lineup, as you heard: Grace Reynolds, Mackenzie Martin, Emery Carter, Ella Whitney, Macy Dorsett and Katie Tomlinson. Of course, Ella Whitney will rotate here out on the back row. The libero, Molly Urban, back there. And we are set to go here. Gabriela Pineda on the serve for the 20-8 South Braves. And Martinsville scores first. Mackenzie Martin on the attack, leads away for the Lady Artesians in the kill category for Martinsville. Nearly 5 kills per set for the junior Mackenzie Martin. It's a strong junior class for the Artesians, as we've talked about on our broadcast. Mackenzie Martin, Ella Whitney, and Grace Reynolds. Grace honored several matches ago for her 2000th career assist, and she just continues to add to that total. The back set there to the right side, Macy Dorsett, and Macy will get it down. So the Artesians now up 2-1 here in this opening set. The final regular season match of the year for the Lady Artesians prior to sectional play, and they got the bye in the sectional, so they'll be off for quite some time before they'll hit a volleyball court in a match for real. Emily Jones will get the point in. So 3-1, Martinsville out in front here. The Artesians drawing the bye will play the winner of East Central and Columbus North, and really kind of got a break because probably the two tournament favorites, Bloomington South, ranked 10th in the state of Indiana, and Columbus East, who provided Bloomington South one of only their 3 losses on the season, play each other in the first round in the bottom half of the bracket. So Martinsville, instead of having to face both of those ball clubs, would just have to face one of them should they get to the sectional championship. But the Artesians in the bye will be battling East Central or Columbus North in their opening match next Saturday. Artesians up 4-2. This is a good Terre Haute South ball club. We mentioned the fact that Martinsville fell to to Bloomington South a couple of weeks ago. Martinsville with a nice save there. On the outside, strong hit there by Courtney Jones. She leads the Braves in kills per set with nearly 4. Nice dig there by Grace Reynolds, and the two teams you can see there keeping the rallies alive. And then the roll shot on the attack by Jones. Nice bump set to the outside, Emily Jones. It's blocked down, and Martinsville will maintain it. Macy Dorsett gets it to go down, and the Artesians now 5-2 leaders. But this is a Terre Haute South ball club that took Bloomington South to 5 sets, falling 3-2. It's a Bloomington South ball club we saw last week, and the strongest team we've seen thus far this season. We haven't seen all of Martinsville's contest, but it was a Bloomington South squad that was able to beat Martinsville 3-0. But Martinsville battled Terre Haute South earlier in the season at the Bedford Invitational and came away with a 2-0 win. And right now, Martinsville out in front, 6-2 here in the early going. Those invitationals, just the best 2 out of 3 for those. And Ella Whitney in the middle, strong attack there by Ella, and the kill. Get a look there at Mackenzie Martin, who leads the team for the Artesians, but Ella Whitney on that attack for Martinsville. And Ella, 2.5 kills per set, second on the team in that category. The Braves on the attack. Reynolds on the outside, a nice shot by Emily Jones to keep it alive, and now the Braves have to run it down. They save it. Reynolds on the slide. Ella Whitney was off the timing a little bit. Both teams just scrambling to keep points alive, and that's hit wide, and the Artesians get the point here. 8-3 now. Martinsville out in front. Set number 1, Martinsville and Terre Haute South. The Artesians, the Braves, doing battle here on the John R. Wooden Gymnasium hardwood. Glad we can bring this to you on WRAP 15 Sports in the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Block that time. Finds the floor for the Braves, 8-4. Back to serve now for Terre Haute South, Ashlyn Swan. Swan with 26 aces on the season. We've got stats for South. They aren't, I don't believe, for all of their matches, but you get a pretty good idea of what they're able to do. Martinsville going over the net, so it'll be a point to Terre Haute South. 8-5 now the score here in set number 1. Like we said, the two teams played earlier this season down at the Bedford Invitational. And the Artesians 8-6 now. 9-6, the Artesians get the point there. And Katie Wong back to serve for the Artesians. The attack by the Braves. Nice dig there by Molly Urban, and Martinsville battling at the net with Terre Haute South, and they cannot get the point, so it will be side out to Terre Haute South. 9-7 the score here. We said earlier in the season Martinsville battled Terre Haute South in the Bedford Invitational. Seven now. But that match very close. Martinsville won the first set 27-25, the second set 25-17. So like we said, a good South club. Nice attack there by South. But Martinsville on the block. Reynolds all the way cross court. Mackenzie Martin goes off block. It even goes in. So 11-7 now the score as you see the powerful swing from the Artesian junior Mackenzie Martin. 11-7 the score. We talked about it. It's a strong set of juniors that are out there, but also a very good sophomore class as well for the Artesians. Ella Whitney, the UK softball commit on the serve, but we're talking about Macy Dorsett and Molly Urban as well as Emery Carter out there, the sophomore trio as well for head coach Kayla back, and then you kind of just throw in some seniors there that have done a fantastic job as well, coming in and filling in their roles with Katie Tomlinson and Katie Wong, Emily Jones, Anna Foley at times as well. So it's been a good team effort for Martinsville, and the future does look bright for the Artesians as well, because basically your rotation is going to be back next year as well. So Grace Reynolds back to serve for the Artesians, up 12-8. Huge swing that time by Courtney Jones, and Mackenzie Martin turns the favor. So you generally see teams kind of slide over toward Mackenzie, but Jones on the attack on the other side of the court, South late and rotating back over to Mackenzie Martin's side. And she had a pretty clear view of the attack and is able to hammer it down for the Artesians. South, though, going to their middle hitter that time. Michaela Sullivan at 6'2". 13-9 the score. Martin Reynolds right back to Martin. And you got to love that, too, when the libero is diving out of the way to avoid the attack by your hitter. And Martin, 14-9, they lead it. Do the Artesians. Like we said, the final regular season match of the season for Martinsville. This is the second time they battled Terre Haute South, got the victory over the Braves in the Bedford Invite. Though it was close, 27-25, 25-17. And then again, Michaela Sullivan returns the favor with a hard kill, about 2 kills a set for Sullivan. Her kill percentage hovering around 40% mark. Last week when Martinsville battled the 8th-ranked Bloomington South Panthers, they had a couple of kids that were hitting over 50%. So that's obviously going to get you some wins. And again, Courtney Jones just elevating on the outside, winding up, but Martinsville right there for the dig. But the Braves able to get the point. But you can really see that they're going to her on the outside. Emily Jones. And again, it's Jones this time has to kind of hold up a little bit. Macy Dorsett. Kind of the tip on the attack that time around the potential block, and does a nice job that time to push it past the Braves and push Martinsville to a 4-point advantage. Molly Urban on serve on a couple occasions on Tuesday night against the Mooresville Pioneers. Molly able to serve the Artesians on a big run there. She actually closed out the second set, I believe, with 11 straight points. Courtney Jones on serve, but floats it into the net, so Martinsville will get it right back. And then on Tuesday night as well, congratulations to Coach Kayla Back and the Artesians. They clinched a share of the Mid-State Conference crown in that victory over Mooresville. It was kind of an odd conference season. Martinsville got an early win over Plainfield in what appeared to be a very athletic Plainfield team, but Martinsville really kind of dominated that match. Won 3-0 over Plainfield, as we'll get a timeout here. And then Martinsville took care of business in the rest of their Mid-State Conference matches, with the lone exception being Franklin. They lost 3-1 over at Franklin Community High School, and Plainfield able to win the rest of their matches. So the two teams end up tying in Mid-State Conference. They don't go to head-to-head. Just the two teams share it. So Martinsville with the Mid-State Conference co-championship here in volleyball this season. So congratulations to those girls. Terre Haute South, 20-8 coming in, like we talked about. Martinsville beat them 2-0 at the Bedford Invite earlier this season. But they were close sets, 27-25, 25-17. Led by Libby Fugers, the head coach, and that's a common name there in southern Indiana. Very good athletes, lots of coaches in that realm as well. So they've done a nice job, Terre Haute South has, like we said, 20-8 on the season. But right now, Martinsville in control. And you just wonder with them where their heads would be. And they're not going to play again before sectional play comes up. So you kind of wondered what you would get. But thus far, it's been good for head coach Kayla Back and the Artesians. And then on the flip side for Terre Haute South, they still have another match after this one. It'll be at Columbus North. On the dump that time by Mia Lloyd for Terre Haute South, 19-14. Ashlyn Swan back on the serve. Reynolds all the way cross court to Emily Jones, off block, and it will be a point for the Artesians. They lead it now 20-14. Here's set number 1 from the John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Glad we can bring it to you here on WRAP 15 Sports. Also the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Students in the RTV program here at Martinsville High School responsible for producing the games this evening. A couple of sophomores on the cameras, and Tyler Atkins and Luke Cheatham, and also Silas McFarland tech directing here tonight, pushing the buttons. So we'll see, and I'm sure Tyler and Luke are anxiously awaiting the IHSA sectional draw, which should be happening at least in 4A pretty soon here. Kind of keeping an eye on that and let you know what the draw will be and who Martinsville will be playing in the first round of sectional in football. They've got a tough matchup coming up on Friday night on the road at Mooresville to battle a very good Mike Gillen-led Mooresville Pioneers. Reynolds to Ella Whitney, and Whitney goes off the net. So South making a little bit of a run here, 20-16 the score. Katie Tomlinson, Grace Reynolds, that time on the setter attack, and will get it to go down. Grace has done a fantastic job with that. Averages just over a kill a set. We may have turned in right at the right time for the we got the sectional draw up right now, and Martinsville drawing Jennings County. A really good draw for the Artesians. I'm not going to lie to you. Martinsville battles Jennings County again in the first round of sectional. Jennings County again coming to Martinsville the way I read it. And South Dearborn and Greenwood in the game above that. So Martinsville would battle the winner of that one and would get to avoid East Central, Silver Creek, or Mooresville, who are all in the bottom half of the bracket. So the Artesians getting a good draw here in the sectional. And we'll touch on that throughout. Don't have to tune back to see that. You can stay right here and watch the Artesians battle Terre Haute South in volleyball as head coach Kayla Back trying to close out a fantastic season, and Courtney Jones putting a capper on a fantastic junior campaign for her as well. She's just over 4 kills a set, and you can see why right there on that attack, 22-18. We'll have a rotation violation on South, so it'll be a point to the Artesians. So Martinsville now 2 points away from winning set number 1. Grace Reynolds to serve. Let's see if Grace can get a couple points here and give Martinsville the victory. Grace on the attack. Serve, receive, air that time by South, so they have to rally. Urban, Reynolds, Martin. South rallying. Martin again at the net. South still keeping alive. These are one of those rally points where the team that gets this one could really take some momentum. The dump there by Reynolds. They'll go outside to Jones, but she hits it into the tape on the top of the net. And the Artesians hold that one off, now 1 point away from winning set number 1 here. Braves keeping it alive, and Jones winds up but hits it wide, and Martinsville wins set number 1 here. They do it in pretty impressive fashion over Terre Haute South. 25-18. We will take a break and come back with set number 2 in just a moment.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. And here we are, right here, right now.
You're good at motivation? We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
When you hit that water, you're going to want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that. And let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
I've always been with live bait.
Back here at the John R. Wooden Gymnasium, Martinsville and Terre Haute South. The Artesians impressive in that opening set. The victory 25-18. We talked about the football draw came out and was just talking. We had a couple of kids, the Tyler Atkins and Luke Cheatham running cameras here tonight, so we're kind of relaying them what the draw was. And it's if you're looking at it from a broadcaster's perspective, it's a good draw for the Artesians in football. They will play in game number 2, the second game of the sectional 23 bracket. The Artesians will have a rematch with Jennings County. It'll again be here at Martinsville. If the Artesians should win that, they would play the winner of the South Dearborn-Greenwood game. And that match could be at Martinsville, or that game could be at Martinsville as well. East Central, Silver Creek, Mooresville, all in the bottom half of the bracket. So if you're going to draw out a bracket and your head coach, Brian Duggar, that's pretty close to the bracket you probably would have drawn out to be able to maybe get an opportunity to be able to be playing for a sectional championship. But still a couple of games left for the Artesians. Friday night, a tough test on the road at a very good Mooresville Ball Club. But back here to the John R. Wooden Gym, where we've got a very good match going on against two quality volleyball teams. The Mid-State Conference co-champion Martinsville Artesians and head coach Kayla back on the floor, up 1-0 as they are set to go again as they will battle Terre Haute South here, looking for their 18th win of the season. And they've got a good sectional coming up in a week. They don't play now for a week, and they got a tremendous job in their sectional, a tremendous draw, we should say, in their sectional as well. So the two sectional favorites, I would guess, in Bloomington South and Columbus East actually play each other in the opening match on the bottom half of the bracket. Martinsville in that 7-team sectional draws a bye, and they will await the winner of East Central and Columbus North. And on a Saturday, next Saturday, the Artesians playing in the sectional against the winner of East Central and Columbus North. Now, the only thing you probably are concerned about if you are Martinsville is the fact that we are on fall break next week, and you don't have any matches. I'm sure you'll get in here and practice, but having over a week off from playing matches may be a little bit tough, so that'll be something that the head coach, Kayla Back, will have to manage a little bit for the Artesians. But that tournament will be at Columbus East, so the bye for Martinsville, they won't have to play until October 17th, so that's a little ways away. Like we said, it's a little over a week away. It's on a Saturday. They would play in the first match on Saturday, and then await the winners should they get that one in the championship match. Now, they battled the very good Bloomington South Ball Club last week on Thursday night here a week ago in the John R. Wooden Gymnasium. South won it in 3 sets, but they were close sets, and that's a really, really talented South Ball Club. So Martinsville playing well here also in these last couple of matches. So it'll be interesting to see where Martinsville goes. They get a bye, get a good draw, like we said. And we'll see if the Artesians should be able to get into that sectional championship game. Just have to win one match to get there. And once you get there, anything can happen. So Martinsville up 3-2 here in the second set. Molly Urban back to serve for the Artesians. The sophomore. Float serve. The attack. Molly with the dig. Reynolds outside. Emily Jones hits it off the antenna, so it'll be a point to Terre Haute South. This will be our final live stream match of the season. Should Martinsville win and get into regional, we probably would look at doing those in volleyball, but right now, being over the fall break, we will, and not knowing what will happen, if they should be there or not, we will not be planning on doing that match. Courtney Jones just hangs in the air that time and is able to go to the left hand and get it in. Extremely athletic. On the attack there, Mackenzie Martin on the dig, and then the bump set back to Mackenzie on the back row, and you'll see Martinsville do that quite often. Great dig that time by Molly Urban, but the Artesians just can't quite get the attack down, so it'll be point to Terre Haute South. Urban again. Reynolds on the slide there to Ella Whitney. And it'll go down. That timing off just a little bit, but Martinsville able to get the attack. 5-5. The Artesians won the first set. Looking to get the victory here in set number 2. Their final regular season match of the year. It's the Terre Haute South Ball Club. They beat earlier in the season the Bedford Invite on a Saturday, 27-25, and then 25-17. It's a good, very good Terre Haute South team. It's a team that took Bloomington South to 5 sets before falling 3-2 to the South Panthers earlier in the season. Six now. Ella Whitney on the serve, 7-6. Martinsville, that'll be in, back to 7-7. So neither team letting anybody get close. While in the matchup against Bloomington South, Terre Haute South actually led 2-0 before Bloomington South came back. So remember, that's a South team that is favored in sectional, along with the host Columbus East Olympians. The Olympians put South out of sectional last year and beat South this season, one of just 3 losses that the 8th or 10th ranked Panthers have suffered thus far this season. Martinsville beat Terre Haute South earlier in the season at the Bedford Invite 2-0. Nice attack that time by Mackenzie Martin. And as we look here at the box score from the Terre Haute South Bloomington South matchup, Terre Haute South won 25-11 in the first set, 25-18 in the second set before South won the final 3 sets, 25-17, 25-15, and 16-14. So you kind of get the comparison there. You've got to be playing your best volleyball at the most opportune time, and that would be coming up a week from this Saturday when the Artesians are in the Columbus East sectional. But right now, Martinsville playing pretty well. Mackenzie Martin on the attack goes off the tape, so that gave a break to South. Bump set that time. Mackenzie Martin or Macy Dorsett couldn't get it down, and it'll go long. So a point for the Artesians, and so a little bit of a run here for Martinsville. Going back to Bloomington South, I reference it because it was a quote I saw earlier in the season by South's head coach Eugene Kim. He really talks to his team about going on 2-for-1 runs. So when you get a side out and then scoring at least one more time before the other team gets a side out, if you do that enough, you're going to win. And Martinsville's did that in the first set. Here in the second set, haven't really been able to do that. Both teams really exchanging side outs, and that's why we're set at 9-9 right now. Gabriella Pineda on the serve. Mackenzie Martin. Great set that time by Grace Reynolds. She goes down the line and hammers it in. Emily Jones rotates back in for Katie Thompson. So those two girls trading the rotation. Katie playing in the back row. Emily Jones coming in to play the front row. And now Mackenzie Martin back to serve. So Martinsville will set Mackenzie to the back row. Point for the Artesians there. So that's that 2-for-1 minimum that you've gotten right now. And they'd like to get a couple of more as they lead at 11-9. Mackenzie back to serve. She's been serving more here from the left side. And then it goes cross court. And it'll be a point Artesians. So a miss hit again for South. And back to Mackenzie Martin. Mackenzie on the attack. Nice hard serve. Still serving right at Ashlyn Swan. Now the Artesians, an opportunity. They'll set outside Emily Jones. Emily winds up and hit it long. So in this particular rotation for the Artesians, a lot of times you will see that Molly Urban ends up with what would have to be the second touch, and so usually going with a bump set, but does a fantastic job to give her teammates an opportunity on the attack. Mia Lloyd serving now. Urban, Reynolds, back set Macy Dorsett. Courtney Jones, great dig that time by Reynolds. Now Molly will free volley it over. Boom. Artesians, great hustle. Great hustle all around by Martinsville. They couldn't save it, but sometimes, like we said, that's a momentum going there because you had Mackenzie Martin and Grace Reynolds diving for it, kept it alive, and then Molly Urban as well, but just couldn't quite get to it. That'll go long, so Martinsville will get the point there, 13-11, as Mackenzie Martin lets it go a little bit long and then kind of gives a glance over to the Artesian line judge just to make sure that it was long. Big swing that time by the middle, Michaela Sullivan. Macy Dorsett hits it off the block and gets the kill, 14-11. Molly Urban back to serve. Tough serve there. Ace for the Artesians. 15-11. Molly serving in that category. 17 service aces on the season. Floats that one again. They'll go all the way cross court. Will the Braves trying to go to Chloe Denny, and she hits it into the net. Martinsville now 16-11 leaders. So we were tied here, 9-9. 11-11, the Artesians have reeled off 5 in a row. And if you remember back to Tuesday here in the John R. Wooden Gym in set number 2, similar to what we are right now, it was Molly Urban on the serve for the Artesians that reeled off the final 11 points. I believe it was 11, as the Artesians got the second set victory over Mooresville en route to their 3-set match win over the Pioneers to claim a share of the Mid-State Conference Championship. And looking here, 16-11, they lead it over South in the second set, up 1-0. Looking to close this out, take some momentum, heading toward the sectional that begins next week. And Martinsville getting the bye in the sectional, so they will be off until next Saturday morning at Columbus East. And they will battle the winner of the East Central Columbus North matchup. Now, East Central probably the favorite in that one. Courtney Jones able to put a quick halt to the Artesian run there with a great attack. Leads their teams in kills and kills per set, and you see why there. Not the best of hitting percentages at 37, but they go to her quite a bit, but she's very, very strong on her attack. Back row, Mackenzie Martin off block. Now the bump set outside Macy Dorsett, and she'll get that down. So the assist that time by Molly Urban. Not a ton of assists. Grace Reynolds is going to easily lead in that category, but you see Molly get several of those bump sets a match, and it really helps when you have somebody that can do it. Here you go again. So she sets up Emily Jones on the outside, goes off block, and it'll be a point. So 2 assists in a row for the Artesians, and that's simply your ability to have the libero, the ability that Molly has as a sophomore to do that. That's not easy to put that up there for somebody to get a good attack on, and she's done it twice in a row now to Macy Dorsett and Emily Jones. So we talk a lot about Grace Reynolds and her ability to set, and rightfully so. 2,000 career assists a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago actually, met that milestone and is continuing to pile up the assists for the Artesians. And then you also see her surprise block there at the net. The timing just timed out right for her. But, you've got to also credit the rest of the Artesians in the last 2 points prior to that one for Martinsville. Really the assist going to Molly Urban. But a very good team effort for Martinsville throughout this season. Mackenzie Martin off block, kept alive by South. They're going to set to the back row. Boom. Get out of the way. Jones' ability to elevate really gives her an advantage. And she just hangs in the air and then winds up. I don't know how she doesn't hurt her arm, man. She just winds up and delivers. Martinsville up 21-16. Reynolds will set the back row to Macy Dorsett on the attack, and she'll get that down 22-16 now. And we're going to get a timeout maybe by South. No, 22-16 the score. So Martinsville now several chances here for Set point, the junior Ella Whitney on the serve. Nice serve that time by Ella. Drops right in there. Now Martinsville with the set point, 1 point away from getting set number 2. This one was close, 9-9, 11-11 as well, and the Artesians have blown it open since then. South kind of probably gave Martinsville a break there. Mackenzie Martin. Dug by Jones. Outside attack. Artesians can't get to it, so South will live to play another day. Lily Merck back to serve. Urban, Reynolds, and then the free ball by the Artesians. Boy. So a little bit of a rally here by South. We'll see what head coach Kayla Back does. She'll just look on and let her team kind of play through this. Still 6 set points for Martinsville. 5 set points for Martinsville. But there's no margin of error here now for South. You can't hit it into the net. Can't hit it out of bounds. It looks like they have, we got some blood on the floor. Blood or water or something. I think they get it cleaned up. Believe they're ready to go. No, they're going to have to spray some, believe it's blood, I think. Which would lead you to wonder who's out there. But they're cleaning it up, got it cleaned up. Think we're ready to go. Kenzie Martin testing it to make sure she's got good traction. Appears as if she does. Here we go. 24-19. We're set. The officials say let's go. And again, back on serve is Lily Merck. Martin, Reynolds, back to Martin. Gets it in between the block and the net, and the Artesians win set number 2, 25-19. We will go to set number 3 here on WRAP 15 Sports in the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Martinsville out in front, 2-0.
Understand.
Being young is hard.
With friends, school, family,
Homework, jobs, sports.
It's easy to get overwhelmed.
stress, anxiety, depression.
They can take over everything.
And with drinking, vaping, smoking, drugs.
We know it seems like the easiest answer.
But it just makes things harder.
No matter what you're facing,
you can do it.
And you don't have to do it alone.
Because we understand.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
We're not just officers or deputies. We're people. We're parents and grandparents. We're here to serve our community. We're here for you. And we want everyone to succeed and be substance abuse free.
We're back here at the John R. Wooden Gym. 25-19, Martinsville set number 2 winners. Artesians hoping to close this one out and finish the regular season, at 18-9 for head coach Kayla Back, and they've already captured a co-Mid-State Conference Championship. Got a good sectional draw. Sectional coming up. Starts next week, but Martinsville doesn't have to worry about their play until next Saturday. So they're going to be off for a little bit here before they play again. They get the bye, and they will battle the winner of the East Central Columbus North matchup. If you look at records, Columbus North probably favored in that one, but anything can happen. I look down on South's bench, and it appears as if one of their players just fell out of one of the socially distanced chairs. The attack by Grace Reynolds there, and that time Courtney Jones quickly elevates, winds up, and hammers it home. 6-foot junior. Martinsville will have to get a roll shot on the volley it over from Macy Dorsett. Braves hit it long. 1-1 the score. Martinsville up 2-0. Martinsville actually played Columbus North, probably who they'll play in the sectional. Well, no, I said they probably play Columbus North. They're probably going to play East Central. They played Columbus North, and Columbus North beaten by the Artesians 3-1. East Central, the better record. But, sometimes those records deceiving because you got to know who you're playing and all those kind of things. And so you can't always go that route. But if you were to look records alone, East Central, a much better record than Columbus North. And so you would feel that it would be a Columbus North win, or say a win in that opening round match, and then Martinsville would play obviously the winner of that one. Four 4-1. Blocked out that time. 5-1, Martinsville out in front. East Central 16-8 coming into tonight. Columbus North 7-19. So like we said, probably East Central going to get you would think be the favorite in that, but it's over Columbus, and you never know what will happen, but Martinsville will await the winner of that match. And then they get to avoid the two favorites, Columbus East, Bloomington South. They drew each other in the opening round, so good for Martinsville. Those two teams also in the bottom half of the bracket. So the Artesians can get a win for them, their first win in the match that they'll play on Saturday. They will make it to the sectional championship. That's about a week away, like we said, over at Columbus East. So mention if you're watching and a Artesian football fan as well, that sectional draw came out tonight, and it's a great draw once again for Martinsville. You usually don't hear me say that when the draws come out. Martinsville usually does not get a very good draw. 5-4 now. But they did here this year. It'll be a rematch from last year. Jennings County will once again come to Martinsville to battle the Artesians. And if Martinsville should get that win, they will play the winner of the South Dearborn-Greenwood matchup. And the way that draw came out, Greenwood will play South Dearborn at home. Martinsville will play Jennings County at home. But since Martinsville is the second game, the lower game in that part of the bracket, if the Artesians should win the first game and Greenwood wins the first game, and I would think if you would just blindly look at that now and say who would be the favorite, and though that's how it would play out. Martinsville would then host Greenwood in the sectional semifinals. That's a long way away. We just love to speculate here, but that's kind of a little bit of a peek. Courtney Jones hammers it home again. Kind of stared down at the attack as well. Very dynamic for Terre Haute South. Very athletic, and one of the more dynamic is a good word, outside hitters we've seen thus far this season, or at least I've seen here against the Artesians. Reynolds back set to Macy Dorsett, but Martinsville has a dynamic outside hitter of their own in Mackenzie Martin. 8-5. And again, the effort, Grace Reynolds diving on the floor in anticipation of the ball, finding the floor, but didn't have to do that. But that's the effort that will lead to some wins and some crucial points. Urban, Reynolds, quickly to Ella Whitney. And that set to the middle from the time I've seen Martinsville early on in the season till now has really evolved. And that attack in the middle, and they also will get Ella on the slide, has really been effective. Kenzie Martin on the attack from the back row, and I think that's really helped the Artesians. Again, Jones off a block. Moody. 11-6 now. Martinsville leads it. Had a many technical difficulties, but the crew got it taken care of. Team effort there. Had to bring in a RTV2 student. So Trenton Moody doing a great job to help out. That's great to see the kids doing a good job, though, here tonight. Silas McFarland punching the buttons, and then Luke Cheatham and Tyler Atkins running the cameras. Our final volleyball live stream of the season. We've got one more live stream coming up. It'll be in football on Friday night. Not this Friday, but the following Friday, as Martinsville will close out their regular season at home against the Plainfield Quakers in football. Good Plainfield Ball Club. But Martinsville, a tough matchup coming up on Friday night on the road at Mooresville. We will not be able to have that game. The Mid-State Conference has talked about it this season, and just the home teams will be in charge of the live streams for football. So Mooresville's television program will be producing that. I believe it will be free to view as well, so you can check it out on IHSA TV and see Martinsville and Mooresville if you can't get up there and watch the Artesians battle. Mooresville tomorrow night in a good Mid-State Conference matchup, a really good Mooresville team. Mike Gillen does a fantastic job there, and he'll have his team ready. A couple of Division I players there. There's that slide to Ella Whitney, and Ella gets it off the block. Speaking of Division I players, Ella, a D1 recruit for Kentucky in softball. Macy Dorsett on the serve. Nice serve by the Artesians as they've started to pull away again. And again, Courtney Jones doing her best to keep things alive for Terre Haute South. I got to believe that she leaves here with her shoulder and her elbow in ice packs, like big ice packs. She does not leave anything on the court, man. She puts everything in the attack she has. Ella again. And it's that timing that's been so crucial. And, we talk about the athleticism of Courtney Jones, but Ella, very athletic as well, and you're kind of see that. I think she's become more comfortable. That allows you to play looser. That allows that athleticism to shine even more, and we've really seen it here in the last couple of matches. Martinsville covering it. Ella there will go into the net, but 14-8 the score. Emma Hopper back to serve, and the ace, 14-9. Well, Martinsville looking to close this out in 3. They won the opening 2 sets, 25-18, 25-19, up 14-9 here. Remember, these two teams played earlier in the season at the Bedford Invite. There again, Ella, timing great. We talked about it on the last match that there's a picture in the Reporter Times of Ella on an attack against Bloomington South, I believe, and she's in the middle, hitting in the middle, and you can really see her ability to elevate, and that ability allows her to be very confident, explosive, and the timing then doesn't have to be so perfect. But when it is, you get devastating kills. And those things aren't coming back a lot. Reynolds again, all the way outside to Mackenzie Martin, and that's just her ability, her athleticism. She takes a quick look up to the official to see if they were going to call her on kind of the carry. They didn't, so it's a point for the Artesians. 16-10, and again back to Grace Reynolds. There's Courtney Jones, man. Great dig that time by Molly Urban. Tap around or tip around block is good by Lily Murk, but great action all the way around. Oh, it actually goes to the Artesians, so they had a hitting error on South. Didn't think that was the case. And Jones, man, she just puts everything she has into it. Macy Dorsett off block. Reynolds outside. Mackenzie Martin goes off the net and down, and South was late in getting the rotation over to her again. 18-10. So when you're really kind of putting everything toward that outside and setting to Courtney Jones, you've got to make sure you rotate to Martinsville, back over here to their big hitter in Mackenzie Martin, and South hasn't been able to do that. But the 6-foot junior outside hitter for South, Courtney Jones, not leaving very much out on the court. Really winds up on the attack, but Martinsville has been right there. Their juniors and sophomores have been up to the task as well. This has been a fun, entertaining match, and really Martinsville has pretty much had this thing in control against a really good Terre Haute South team. It's 19-11 now. Martinsville, an opportunity here to close it out. They have been playing well as we head toward the sectional. Urban keeps it alive. Reynolds sets to Mackenzie Martin. She has to just bump it over. And that time the timing off for Courtney Jones. And I got to believe she's getting tired out there, 20-11. They keep going to her on the attack, and when you put that much effort into every single attack, you got to get worn out. 20-12. The score. Martinsville looking to close this one out in 3. Urban, Reynolds. Back set that time to Macy Dorsett, and the Braves keep it alive. The tip that time by South, and you're going to get Martinsville into the net. So 20-13. Well, South's got a lot of work to do here. Martinsville a little bit of a cushion. Let's see what they can do with it. Lily Merck on the attack. Reynolds outside to Emily Jones. Emily off the block, and South will have another attack at it. Reynolds back to Emily Jones. Emily down the line this time. Hits it in. Now, in the last couple of matches that we've been talking about, Emily really hitting it across court. Parallel to the net, if you will, on most of her attacks. But this time she noticed that maybe South scouting a little bit. They kind of set up anticipating that, so Emily just makes an adjustment, puts it down the line, and able to get it down. Great dig that time by Grace Reynolds, and now she'll just have to volley it over. Outside. Bam! Wow. (21-14) the score here. And Courtney Jones back to hit. Like to get a radar gun on that. Middle to Ella Whitney, and she returns it with some velocity as well. And to me, that's been one of the huge differences, has been the emergence of Ella kind of as your second attacker there in the middle. An ability to attack in the middle and on those slides as well. And then also her athletic ability to block, too. That time, though, was just a very quick set in the middle to Michaela Sullivan. 22-15, but make no mistake, this is a good Terre Haute South team, very good Martinsville team that's starting to gel together a little bit here as the season winds down. The timing off just a little bit that time with Ella and Grace. Ella, I think, looking for a quick set. Grace couldn't quite get to it, so 22-16. Molly, Grace, slide to Ella. Goes cross court, in. They're going to call it out, though, and go to Terre Haute South. The official said, I'm making that call. So 22-17 is Ashlyn Swan back to serve. Urban, Reynolds, slide to Whitney. Goes off of Courtney Jones, 23-17. Now Martinsville a couple of points away from closing out the match. They'll bring the senior Katie Wong on to serve. See if she can close it out here. Reynolds, Martin off the block. So 23-18. Artesian still a couple of points coming up. And back to serve will be the libero, Emma Hopper. She serves to the Artesians libero. A nice dump that time by Grace Reynolds for the point. Now Martinsville, match point coming up here, and it'll be Ella Whitney back to serve. Molly Urban will come off, but nice job by her on the serve receive. Ella serving. A nice attack there by South, Lily Merck. So South holds off the Artesians momentarily, but no room for error here for South. Jade Runyon on serve. Urban, Reynolds outside. Mackenzie Martin off the block. It'll get down, and Martinsville wins it. 25-19, really almost across the board. 25-18, 25-19, and then 25-19 once again. Martinsville gets the victory here. In 3 sets, they finish up the regular season, do the Artesians. 18-9. They are co-Mid-State Conference champions, and they are playing really well heading toward the state tournament. Sectional play for them will begin a week from this Saturday. They will play the winner of East Central and Columbus North. So good luck to Coach Kayla Back and her Artesians as they head to Columbus East next week for sectional. Well, great win here tonight for the Artesians. They get it in 3 sets over Terre Haute South. 25-18, 25-19, 25-19. This has been a student production of WRAP 15 Sports and the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Students in the broadcasting program, the RTV program at Martinsville High School, responsible for producing the game here this evening. Tyler Atkins and Luke Cheatham ran cameras. Silas McFarland produced it for those students. I'm Eric Meyer. So long, everyone, from the John R. Wooden Gym. Martinsville victorious here tonight in 3 sets over the Terre Haute South Braves.